So SworDDarK really running down the reserve time right now, and they're going to have to choose something soon. It looks like they're trying to grab their carry currently.
Radiant
Carry for
team
Curry, well, no longer the carry player. And they grab a Witch Doctor. Alright, so that means that the puck's going to be in the mid lane, or maybe off lane, but probably they could run Venge as a carry if they wanted to, but it certainly worked pretty nicely for Viking as they were able to take a game off Team Secret with it.
10 seconds remaining.
Let's see, they have previously been running this
5
puck
seconds
mostly as
remaining.
a core, I see. So yeah, it's a fairly expected pick, which means that they don't give any information away here with this Witch Doctor either. And the damage amp of the Witch Doctor is always useful against these big beefy targets like Ogre and Doom. Plus, melee heroes walking into a cask, always very unfortunate. It looks like they might even want to put only a dual lane up against this very rough off-lane combo. Witch Doctor is an excellent hero for that. So,
Yes, really is. Alrighty, Wind and Rain. You got 45 seconds left on the clock. Let's get a nice strong core to start off, and they will certainly get that. They get the Gyrocopter, flak damage, gives you that damage throughout the game, basically. Always a threat, Gyrocopter. There's never a point in the game where you're not afraid of this Gyro.
So mid pick here as well. Could be mid, could be safe lane. So Flex synergizes very well with the Bloodlust from the Ogre Magi.
10
Like
seconds
Gyro hits
remaining.
hard, but he doesn't hit that fast. So
5
a
seconds
great pickup
remaining.
just lineup wise in general, which is always what you need to do when you can't see enough of the enemy cores yet. You're just gonna go for the synergy. And I really like what Wind and Rain have got going there so far.
Radiant team banned.
Well. Centaur is going to be the pickup for SworDDarK. And this is a hero we haven't seen too much of, but I've been surprised about that. This hero always seems really strong. The ability to just run people down is always valuable, especially versus a Gyrocopter. If he can pop that flat cannon BKB or even Doom, and you can just
10
get out
seconds
and reset
remaining.
the fight, then that is extremely valuable. Same with the Disruptor ulti as well, in fact. If you can just get
5
out and
seconds
reset,
remaining.
then their ultimate's going to be on cooldown. They're going to feel way less powerful.
Yeah, I agree. And especially because they already have the big ultimate from the puck, they get to now either stagger these, so go out with one and go in with the other, or overlap them for an extra
Dire
potent combo,
team
either
banned.
on getting in or getting out. So in terms of teamfight setup, they've really got things sorted right now. Ursa banned from Wind and Rain. That's interesting because, well, I feel that Ursa's changes are pretty nice. Some of the new items suit him. I think that the little hop on the Earthshock is definitely a good improvement to the
10
hero.
seconds remaining.
I'm not sure if he is that strong
5 seconds
And-
remaining.
against a Doom Gyro. I just feel like he'd get kited, so I'd be surprised if SworDDarK was actually looking to pick up this hero.
Yeah, it'd be a strain. But then again,
Dire
he's
team
much
pick.
harder to kite now with his movement ability. That Earthshock is really strong at just jumping on top of people and keeping your mobility up in the fight. So along with the Abyssal Blade, I personally believe that Abyssal Blade needs to have the same
Yeah.
rules which Blink Dagger has.
Slark here. Yeah, I'd say so as well. If you take damage, no bullshit.
pretty much. Like, you can still use it melee if you take
10
damage, but
seconds
you shouldn't be
remaining.
able to use the blink factor off it if you take damage. 'Cause that's just
Radiant
insane.
team pick.
And we're already seeing it abused quite a lot. And they're going to go for the Lifestealer, SworDDarK.
So
Okay.
nice.
So puck mid, center off, Lifestealer carry, and Wind and Rain. They go in for the Shadow Fiend. Well, you're more familiar with this than I am. We haven't had any Shadow Fiends over on the EU qualifiers, but I heard that's quite common for Na'Vi over in the CIS qualifiers.
Yeah, they just basically coasted through the first 4 matches on the back of that Shadow Fiend, and just the fact that this hero gets to farm jungle early. We talked about that during the previous game as well. Like, you're going to get all of the items out of there. Stacking really pays off in terms of the hero itself as well. Plus just your immense damage presence, really. You've got a hero here that the enemy needs to deal with. And SworDDarK got this center
10
life stealer
seconds
combo in order to
remaining.
get on top of the gyrocopter, and now if you do that, the Shadow Fiend is just going to
5
stand on the other
seconds
side of the
remaining.
fight and hit you down. It's going to be very rough.
Indeed, certainly is. So, let's see it. Win and Rain versus SworDDarK, game number 2. Based on these draft kits, who are you preferring?
I enjoy Wind and Rain a lot right now. Like, I think in general, both of these drafts look a lot more cohesive than the Game 1 draft. There's a lot
Agreed.
of clear interactions between the heroes within the drafts.
Mm-hmm.
But Wind and Rain, for me, are harder to bring down. SworDDarK is going to have to engage into them, and I saw in the previous game already that was a tough call for them. So I'm not favoring them here. It's Wind and Rain for me.
My bold prediction is going to be that Boom is going to be able to take over this middle lane and possibly the game along with it. His puck has proven to be a real menace in some other games as well, and Boom has done nothing but impress me this tournament. In fact, to be honest, all the members of SworDDarK have looked very good. It just seems to be the cohesiveness, the captaining, the overall central leadership, which seems to be missing from this lineup. So definitely excited to watch them play a bit more and grow as a team, because I think there's a lot of raw skill in that lineup. Alrighty, let's get into it. Game number 2, SworDDarK versus Wind and Rain, and we will remind you what is at stake here. If Wind and Rain are able to take this victory, that'll grab them 2 points, which will draw them even with Viking, which means I'll have to play a tiebreaker versus them. However, if this goes 1-1, then they'll be even with SworDDarK, the very team they're playing against. So if these teams go 1-1 against each other, they will be 4th and 5th in the group standings, and they'll then have to play a tiebreaker against each other in order to figure out who's going to be going to the minor tiebreakers. So you have to play a tiebreaker to play in a tiebreaker match. I know it sounds pretty weird, but trust me, that's what it be. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think this is going to be a very close match, and both teams are really going to be wanting this one, because if SworDDarK can't get this victory now, they're done for. They are not going to the minor. They're not going to the major. This is their final match if they want to stay in things. This is their final test for them, so let's see if they can pull it off.
Yeah, and for SworDDarK over here, there is an
30
opportunity
seconds to
to
battle.
be in the major qualifiers instead of being relegated to the minor. And that feels so much better, especially if you are let's put it clearly, a tier 2 to 3 team like they are. So
There is no chance for them to get to the major qualifiers, I'm afraid.
excuse me.
That's all right. 4th position is what they're going to be fighting over, and if you can get 4th position, then you go straight to the minor. You don't have to minor qualifiers. You don't have to play in the.
Yeah. I was talking about the Wind and Rain possibility to get to lower brackets on the wrong team.
Okay. But Nefrit is going to be drawn first blood upon here. Senny getting kind of low as well, but they're turning around on Yol. Yol realizing that he probably needs to get out of this one as Digi continues to chase, but all in all, it will be drawn all up even on the top lane. Meanwhile, in over towards mid, both teams able to get their observers down without too much worry. Although, is there a floating icon here for you? Oh, there we go. Apparently I scared it away with my cursor. That was interesting.
3 of the early bounties going to Wind and Rain though, so a little bit of an advantage there for them going into the laning stage. Not that much.
And this is a bit of a brawl up in the top lane. Everybody just gathering up to fight each other right now. Try on try action, learning from Alliance and what they've been doing. Meanwhile, Boogie versus Curry down here. I'm pretty sure these boys are just going to tear at each other. I do fancy Doom a little bit in this matchup just because of how Infernal Blade works. I think that's going to be doing a lot of damage to the Centaur, but we'll see how this one develops over time. Back into towards the top lane, and the supports are just taking their brawl off the lane and over to the side as Muff and Senny on the run. Definitely losing this right-click war as it stands, as Muff has gotten down to about 300 HP.
And he's already got his new regen coming in. Look at all these couriers making their way to and from the top lane. Quelling Blade coming in. Then that faithful doggo with extra tangos.
Neequa, he's looking for it, but a stun from Muff's going to hold Neequa back and keep that little doggo safe. Praise be, little doggo. Meanwhile, the Golden Roshan curry also being microed by Neequa to keep it safe as well. Everybody's looking okay. Peachy couriers, no PETA or SPCA needs to be called just yet.
And yeah, I wanted to briefly say about that bot lane. This is what I like to call a gentleman's agreement, where both of these people are just, you know, hey, we're gonna farm here. We're not gonna draw any attention to this lane. We both want our items up before anything happens. So the brawling is gonna happen on the top lane. But I do favor Boogie here as well. Doom loves this setup, both because of Devour, as well as that against the Centaur likes it when you hit him more. You're only going to be hitting him every once in a while with that Infernal Blade, or not if you just don't level it at all.
Yeah, it does seem to be the case that they're just completely ignoring each other, going for the Scorched Earth, surprisingly. And he's also gotten the mana burn off a creep here, so should be able to do a little bit of damage into the Centaur as well. So, yeah, definitely Boogie having a small advantage on this lane. Maybe might start to see that reflecting in the CS eventually, but for now, it's pretty Curry favored just due to the base damage difference. And a little bit of maybe outplaying on the creeps as well.
Yeah, there's some offlane players who are really good at the 1v1, and then a couple who get very flustered if there's not like 4 heroes in their lane all trying to murder them. So that often makes a surprising amount of difference. Curry with his experience on the...
Oh, Shenny taking some rocket barrages up here. He might be dropping low. The one's going to burn him a little bit of time, but he's still going to die. Yol will grab that kill. Wind and Rain taking advantage of the fact that Muff was over here doing a bit of pulling, and now they turn their attention to him as well. Now Muff, he's got the stun. Going to throw it out onto the Disruptor, trying to stop him getting off this kinetic field, which should be successful. Kinetic field comes out, does just about catch Muff, but Yol can't really chase him the tower, so the Vengeful Spirit's going to be absolutely hunky-dory.
If there wasn't a Witch Doctor there with a cask, he totally would have. Okay, just do that with an Ogre. Level 2. Walk in there. Buckler, extra armor. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Ogre Magi doesn't care about anything right now in this patch. Meanwhile, a Wish Courier has been killed off by Boom here. Going in deep and killing the Shadow Fiend's Courier, and now getting the double damage rune off him as well, as he has got this empty bottle, so Boom going to be very happy about this one. He is very far behind on CS, it looks like. I say that, actually, he's ahead on CS, but the items don't seem to reflect that. What's he got in the Courier? No, I think the Puck's been struggling here. I think he's just been trying to scoop up as much CS as he can and buying a lot of regen to cope with these Shadow Raids which have been coming out onto him.
It does look like that. And meanwhile, by the way, Curry getting chased out of the lane by Boogie, who's lower level than he is. You can just run him down with that Infernal Blade.
Yeah, he's got to point into that. Got to point into the Scorched Earth as well. Not something Curry can just sit and tank. Does now have those 13 points of Retaliate now, so a lot of damage is going to be coming out if anybody decides to rotate to this bottom lane and try and deal with Boogie. Meanwhile, Bounty Runes are spawning. No fighting going on over there, though. Everyone's being very gentlemanly, and Wind and Rain are able to pick up 3. Meanwhile, Curry the only one able to grab 1 for the side of SworDDarK.
This is where we're going to see if either of these two teams wants to abandon this top lane sometime soon. Right now, it's working out really well for the side of Wind and Rain, and I gotta imagine that at some point, these supports on SworDDarK are going to want to rotate. Perhaps onto this juicy Shadow Fiend, but they just can't get away right now. They need to protect that Lifestealer.
Yeah, that's the great thing about having a greedy mid laner and then running a tri-lane with it as well, is that you will be able to protect that Shadow Fiend. It's going to be very obvious when the supports are missing. You will know about it. And boom, he's coming up here to the top lane now. He's managed to get the coil off onto the Ogre Magi, but there's a response from Nephrid as well. He's joining in this party, but unfortunately, Yol is already dead. Nequa coming forwards, just trying to get some harass off, and the 4 heroes from SDK back themselves out. And that's going to be just about the end of it. Good night, Mr. Ogre Magi. But still, it's a Puck rotation for an Ogre, not a big deal. Meanwhile, Puck grabbing himself an Invis, once again denying Wish these runes. Kind of questionable, I'd say, for Wish to go for a bottle versus a Puck. You're never going to win that.
Yeah, it's just not happening, especially not with the shorter damage to the bot rune right now. He can always orb and John if he has vision over either.
Is under attack.
In the top lane?
Yeah, Nequa unfortunately is not though. Digi will run him down, and that's going to be a kill for SworDDarK this time. Meanwhile, Yol.
There's also a Doom on Curry on the bot lane. I think he's going to make it, but oh...
The heals from Shenny. Shenny trying to get the block and the heals in at the same breath, and he's going to be okay. The Centaur Warrunner lives to war run another day. And they'll head over to the shrine as well and get some of their health back, get some mana back of Zenny as well. Everybody feeling very happy about that shrine usage.
So first thoughts from here are that SworDDarK is coming out of this laning stage a lot better than before, and they're going to do
Bottom
even
mid. Sorry, they're
better.
going on to the Shadow Fiend right now as the storm comes in. There comes the damage following up onto the Shadow Fiend, and Boom's able to grab that kill. But meanwhile, Muff is going to go down, and Nikra in the central lane as well. I'm sorry, that was up at top. So a bit of a trade actually up in the top lane as Nefrit kills Muff, Gigi kills Nikwa, but the fact they managed to bring down this Shadow Fiend is hugely beneficial for SworDDarK. They're going to be very happy with that one.
It's excellent usage of that shrine into, like, the enemy expects you to be off map for that time, and then they expect you to return right back to your lane. Unfortunately, for Wish right there, SworDDarK did not. And this is the first time where I've seen that aggression from SworDDarK just work out perfectly. Where before they were kinda too eager, they really waited for the right opportunity here, and they got it.
Yeah, they're playing well. Now, big question time. What talent do we go for on the puck? We've got 200 cast range, and we've got the phase shift attack.
So it depends on if he wants to fight or if he wants to farm. Like, I've seen the phase shift attack work the best with just bursting camps. And
Dire's middle
if
tower
he
is under attack.
has no interest in that, he should take the cast range and make sure that he can properly stay out of
Top lane, they're going on to Nefrit now. Stun comes out from the Witch Doctor as well. The Maledict, but Nikwa and Yol are arriving quickly to try and turn this one around. And with the cooldown, Muff is caught out and they bring down the Vengeful Spirit. These fights just changing in an absolute instant as the TPs come in. Meanwhile, we get the first of our items dropping, and it's going to be a Mango Tree for the Shadow Fiend. And I think we're actually early enough in the game to warrant putting this on your next to your tower. I'm just giving you that constant mana regen for your lane, or maybe you want to put it in the jungle, but you definitely want to hide it somewhere nice and nestled away where you can access easily when you're doing this jungling. But this Mango Tree is insane if you can keep it alive. And now, an Arcane Ring as well. Great.
So this Shadow Fiend suddenly has all of the mana he could ever want, and that's really going to enable him to build something else.
Doom out onto the Centaur Warrunner, and I don't think he's getting away from this one. The Infernal Blade, yeah, he's out of here. There's no denying him this time. Wish gets it with the right click as well. Very beneficial to get these kills on your Shadow Fiend. He wants to be involved in this. He's actually going for those drums as well.
So a very smooth transition here from Wind and Rain. You can see that basically at the same time as the Shadow Fiend showed up on bottom, the Disruptor showed up in mid, so no information given there, but also no unnecessary damage on the tower. And now they have joined up two cores to make a move on this bot lane, but SworDDarK
Well, it's not just the lane, it's also these all-important outposts as well, as Yul is going to try and take it, but Shetty comes in with a stun as well, and now Muff's going to try and take it. The battle for the outpost will be won by SworDDarK. And now they run forwards. They're looking for the kill onto the Shadow Fiend. He's dropping low. He is dead. They get themselves two. Maybe looking for the third as well. Yul low in the trees. Wind and Rain are going to fall here. They lose three big heroes. Boogie should be able to run despite the Maledict on him. Although that said, they keep on chasing. They might find themselves with a kill here. Boom is not done. Boom keeps it going. But yeah, the Tomb is just a bit too tanky to warrant trying to chase him that far. Unfortunately, I don't think they'll be able to turn this into a tower, which doesn't feel great for SworDDarK here, but them's the breaks.
oh, no, they
Oh wait, never mind. It's really I didn't see how low it was. Yeah, that's an easy tower.
as well.
Yeah, my bad. Yep, that's going to be an easy tower then. Just as I said.
No trade on the top lane either. Nefrit can't actually push this lifestealer out, so easy territory for SworDDarK. And I gotta say, you might have been right with that talk about Boom's puck making all of the difference here. I really like the way he's been playing this so far.
Yeah, no, he's holding this 10 talent. What's he going to go for? Oh, mind you, he's actually put the points in, that's 4, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, he's put the points in his skills instead. Interesting.
Yeah, I can really understand him going to max out those skills first. Wonder if he's got the boots to drive already. So this man is going to be a ganking, lane pushing machine.
Yeah, these boost travel make all the difference. And you can just dump your mana on creep wave after creep wave. You know you're going to be able to TP back home pretty damn quick as well. So really, really strong pickup on this puck. I love seeing the boots travel as the first or second item. Meanwhile, up at top, Dizzy's going to open up the wounds of Nefrit and start trying to chunk away at him here, just chasing him back out of lane. This is my lane, sir. Shoo. Nefrit will be ousted to the jungle, I believe. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, they're going pretty hard onto the Shadow Fiend with the coil out. There's nowhere for him to run. The Centaur ulti allows him to just run him down. And now the swap comes forwards onto Nikwa. Nikwa going to glimpse him back into that ultimate. They're still going to chase this one. In comes a coconut bouncing around. And where did he go? He's just dead.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
A lot of damage coming out from Curry when he pops this retaliate.
Radiant structures
Unfortunately
are
for SDK, they do lose a lifestealer there who probably did not actually use the Centaur ult to run away from the Doom that
Dire's top tower
came
is
in
under
on him.
attack.
So this is Wind and Rain
Radiant's
getting
middle
some
tower
much
is
needed
under
space on the
attack.
map.
Radiant's
Grabbing the
middle
top tower,
has fallen.
unfortunately, so much more important to the tier 1.
Indubitably, but they certainly will not be happy about the fact that they had to trade Wish for that as the Shadow Fiend falls down once again. And he's just looking to go straight in for the BKB. He's not even looking for any kind of blink item, no Yules, nothing like that, just going straight and simple.
SworDDarK here again. Previous game they just stormed up high grounds when they had the smoke. Not right now. They're waiting, and
Yeah, Yol gets caught down on the low ground. Very difficult for his team to help him out here. Curry is pretty low himself though, but the swap gonna come in and save the day. Down goes Yol. Wish is looking though, he's hunting for Curry as the glimpse comes back, but Boom's going in deep. He's found himself one, and now he's on the other side of Nefrit as well. Nefrit's just trying to run. He's pinging, he's saying, God help me, there's a puck on my face. Wish will be able to scare him back with that ultimate though. Meanwhile, Boogie trying to have some fun. Warstomp is gonna stop him getting to that orb, but with the mobility puck has now, he's not going to feel too pressured. And he's also gone for that phase shift attack at the level 11, so that's going to give him an extra bit of push and power. I know that a lot of puck players have been preferring the 200 cast range talent with the new Waning Rift just because the extra blink range you get on that spell, but Boom opts for the other one. I prefer the other one, but that's because it's new and shiny, and I'm a pretty simple person who likes new and shiny things.
a simple man. Well,
Indeed.
Boom is going to be chasing down Big here, and they got him.
Yeah, the range on this puck without a blink is just absolutely insane. They're going to throw down the center ulti trying to kill this one, but Nikwa finds a beautiful ulti onto two. Then the damage from the sidelines. Boogie didn't want to come back into that one, but Nefrit trying to follow up. Curry's getting low. They need to start getting some kills right now as the Shadow Fiend ulti comes off as well. Curry is dead. Boom, not particularly healthy either, but he's still playing the game right now as a coil comes down to Gyrocopter. They need one more hit. A Muff will find it. Gives his life. Doesn't even give his life, in fact, and swapping Wish back in. They're low HP, but they're making this work right now. Short Dance. They want this fight. They want this game. SworDDarK managed to find the fight. 4 heroes now dead. Yildiz managed to pick off Muff on the sidelines afterwards, but that doesn't matter too much. They dance around them and end up finding this fight on such low HP. That could have gone either way at any given point, but the usage of spells was just a little bit better on the side of SworDDarK.
Yeah, you can argue that they have the harder to execute lineup, but it also means that their skill ceiling is higher. And this puck just gets to dance around them. And let's face it, the only HP point that matters is the last one.
Mm-hmm. That's a great point. HP is a resource. Death is permanent. Well, not really, but...
Just what the doctor ordered.
Well, okay, I guess really it is permanent, but... I don't think any of these players are in danger of immediately dying, thankfully.
I hope not.
Huh?
So with 3 cores on the SworDDarK side now all doing very well. I gotta say though that Wind and Rain is not actually that far behind. The
They're
gold
not.
gap is clearest in the supports.
Yeah.
A very different game from before. And Wish, is he dead again?
Oh dear, they're jumping on him. They really want to just chain kill the Shadow Fiend. He's going to take down that coil damage, and with that, he will be falling. Wish is really on the receiving end of these gangs from SworDDarK right now, and that's my biggest concern. But despite all his deaths, he's doing a half-decent job on keeping up on the whole net worth front. But you just got to look at the timings, right? And SworDDarK are catching their timings seemingly again and again and again, putting on so much pressure and trying to do some damage to this tier 2 tower as well. Meanwhile, up top, Boogie is able to finish the job on the tier 1 tower at the top lane. So Wind and Rain gets something, trying to fight back a little bit here.
Yeah, I'm concerned for that Shadow Fiend because most likely what he would have been if he wasn't getting killed all the time is he would have been ahead.
Mhm.
And since that currently just isn't
Oh
happening, what are
no,
you gonna do?
dude. Good night, sir.
Don't think ill of me.
I mean, I don't think he minds too much dying there. He's already taken the tower. He's pushing him pretty deep.
Yes, he gets a lot of information as well.
Of course, yeah. And, you know, because the Shadow Fiend's been dying so much, this is going to now know that he's got himself a little bit of time to farm up. He can probably go to lane if he wants to as well. Maybe not, as they've got the outpost there, which is a pretty dangerous TP
Radiant's
point.
top tower is under attack.
And both outposts now in control of SDK as well. So they're gonna get that passive experience denied for the enemy team, which is unfortunate for both of the enemy
Radiant's top
supports who are
tower
under
fallen.
level already.
Yeah, always feels bad when you're trying to play support. And you just don't have much map space. You just end up getting bullied. But to be honest, I feel like it's a cause on Wyndham Rain which has been bullied the most. And I thought they were going to go for that fight without the Shadow Fiend. And still a chance they might. And now they found somebody. And it's going to be Muff just on the receiving end of these rockets of Nefrit. We'll be able to bring him down pretty quickly indeed. Meanwhile, Jenny wants nothing to do with this. He's heading north, trying to get away from the danger. Too much fighting for an old man like Witch Doctor to get involved in. He's just out of here. Meanwhile, Boom. You know what he's already up to? He's pushing waves. To nobody's surprise.
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, it's just what he told us via that item build of his, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And do you see what he's got queued up?
Yeah, we've seen this as well. Maelstrom is on the cards for him. Again, you know, it applies on the phase shift, so you can just get a hell of a lot of damage off at once. Meanwhile, Boom, he's headed up. They're looking to take this fight up into the top lane. There is only one hero left behind, and it is Nikwa. Everybody else pretty much out of here. Wish just needs to leave. There we go. We'll even throw down the scan and do ping him out, and a pause from the gyrocopter.
Sound. It's kind of important.
You do need it. Apologizing for the caps. Good, good.
There's a couple of players I know that even in officials would rather play with music behind them than with full attention to the in-game sound.
Yeah, I remember there was this big argument about that in the CSGO scene about whether you should be allowed to listen to music whilst you play, and some captains were like, no, you are not allowed to listen to music. I think in Call of Duty as well. But in those games I understand it a bit more. You know, you need to hear the footsteps, right? Like, if you can't hear the footsteps, you're obviously at a disadvantage, but...
You need to hear spells being cast, and mostly there's just... Not all tournaments are going to make sure that you can play your own music.
Yeah.
So if you're used to playing music and then you can't, you're at a disadvantage through nothing but, you know, your own decisions.
True.
Just don't make it a habit. It's not necessary.
Dire's middle tower
Yep.
is under
I like
attack.
this movement here from SworDDarK though, as they are able to push up to the top lane with a smoke, clear through their own jungle, and take control of this outpost. And now with a TP down from the Witch Doctor as well, +1, and that +1 is going to be Curry. They'll be able to defend bottom as well, just to ensure they get both outposts here. No one's going to try and stop this from happening. They will, however, lose one bounty rune, although Curry jumps in, but he's a little bit too late, so just going to give Yol a little bit of the old chop and scare him off. And don't want to chase up. Yeah, good. He does back himself away.
Yeah, I was about to say, not too much chop there, old friend.
Yeah.
Reconsider chopping up on the high ground blind.
It's a classic Centaur Warrener, you know. I've played a lot of Centaur Warreners in pubs who pop this Retaliate and it's like, well, gotta use it. Sorry, dude, I'm diving towers. I'm going under the tier 4s. I'm going into the fountain, dude. I've got Retaliate on. Need to get these right clicks off, man. It's not my fault.
Committed.
Exactly. It's like a Spirit Breaker charge to some of them, but luckily Curry has a little bit more restraint.
Right now, he's just covering his puck who's clearing out these lanes on bottom side, Sin
Radiant's
moving
bottom
behind
tower
them,
is under
getting
attack.
ward vision up. I like this movement. I'm seeing a lot more coherent of a team here than we saw in the previous game.
Yeah, they have real kind of objective timings. You know, they're trying to push in. They're trying to win the game, it feels like. I mean, I know it sounds kind of rude, but That's what I'm feeling right now. The jump forward here, going onto the Doom. Doom taking a lot of damage right now. Boogie is going to get popped almost immediately. And Shenny trying to get his ultimate off, but he's just going to take so much damage. Wind and Rain come in and respond violently to the death of Boogie. And that's going to result in 2 heroes dropped very, very fast. Oh, Nefrit and Wish do so much damage when they get the opportunity to.
Boom is stuck in the base.
He's playing, you know. He's just playing, having some fun. They do see him with this rocket, however. Follow the rocket. He can dodge it out pretty easily and continue running away. With that waning rift.
Insane that he gets out there because he actually missed his little waning rift leap to out of base. And he still gets to live. What a hero.
What a hero indeed. Puck and Ursa. Definitely 2 of the big winners of this patch so far, in my opinion.
Extra mobility is always a winner. Like it's
Yeah.
a very restricted kind of resource, and if you just get it for free on your hero, it means so much.
I mean, with Puck, it's definitely like, you know, putting cheese on your putting cheddar on your camembert, if you will. The guy's already got Orb, Blink is a common pickup. They're like, you know what this guy needs? Let's give him some more mobility spells. Why not? Ursa, meanwhile, that was just filling like a big hole in his skill set. Meanwhile, Ogre Magi in a bit of trouble right now, trying to get away. The call comes out just to make sure they leash him up good and proper, and they will be getting this kill.
Yeah, on a minute cooldown, you can drop that call whenever you want.
One thing I've noticed is those well, actually, I was going to say damage mitigation items have been less common. But in this game, we do actually have a damage mitigation item on both sides of the team. Oh, Curry jumping in, trying to grab Neekwa. Unable to do so, though. He glimpses him back, though. That's just Neekwa saying, yeah, you want to jump on me? I'll jump on you.
Cute little attempt.
Now, Shenny, this isn't what you expect. A witch doctor with a life stealer inside of him. Smoke gets popped, he throws the carpet. Boogie's just like, what the hell? The thing is, like, this is something which supports should do more often, right? When someone catches you warding, you turn around, you start right-clicking them, you just start throw your spells at them. Just be like, never run if you're a 5 position, because nobody expects the 5 position to be alone if they start attacking you. If they start throwing their stuns at you, you're like, oh god, he's got a team behind him. They're smoke ganking me. So my advice
requires people to have the brains to be afraid, though. Curry is on top of Nefrit in the top lane. Puck's coming in.
Very much is. Now, there is a BKB on this gyrocopter, so if he wants to get out, he can no longer do so. Oh, no! The coil! He's got the Aghanim Scepter available, so gyrocopter, well, he just turns around and kills him anyway. Not a big deal, as it turns out. Now, Boom, trying to get to the other side of the trees, waning rift, what a spell, and leading the Ogre in one direction. Follow the orb, Ogre Magi, you goddamn idiot. And Boom will get to the trees and TP himself to safety. No offense, y'all. I'm just kidding. I know you were heading in the right direction, but it was just a funny thing to say.
You were flaming the ogre anyway, and nobody's gonna argue that the ogre is smart.
True. And you can very much imagine in like a realistic scenario if the orb got thrown out one way, the Ogre Magi went, oh, look at the pretty orb, and run off and chase it in the middle of a team fight, so.
Well, Wind and Rain is getting ready for a re-engage here on top, and they are right to do so because the other 2 lanes are pushed out pretty far. They don't have any information there. This is where they know what's going on.
They're protecting this outpost with everything they've got. The Sentinels can be back in just a second. Puck, nice avoidance there. He nearly gets caught out, but oh my god, Senny will not be so lucky. The damage from Wish with those crits doing a hell of a lot of work. And Boom, another crit comes through. Boom needs to dodge this one. Will get out of here, I think. He's got a blink. Oh, no, he doesn't. Timed beautifully by Wish there. And Boom gets taken out of existence by that Requiem. Which is huge when he's bloodlusted. Now, Wind and Rain are going to go and say hello to an old friend, an old scaly friend of theirs named Roshan, and this man will not be lasting very long at all. Crits on Wish, the anti-armor aura as well, going to be making short work of the big scaly boy. Aegis probably going to be going to Wish as well. He's cleared out that slot, getting in nice and close to personal, and scoop up that Aegis of Immortality. Wind and Rain turning this one on its head a little bit here. Puck was supposed to be the winning factor, but go ahead.
Yeah, I gotta say that for Wind and Rain it was the right move to be there on top, but for SDK it really wasn't. They had those 2 bot lanes pushed out, the entire jungle was theirs. if you are ready to force enemies back, then you can definitely just be in that area. But instead, they fight on top, and they give away the rush, even though they have a lineup with a lifestealer that is very well suited to taking it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So they could have forced people back to the bot lane and gone for that Roshan. Instead, they take a fight where the enemy has already set themselves up for a good one, and now they are looking into a Shadow Fiend Aegis, which is going to force them to spend a lot of resources on moving up into that Shadow Fiend, who is very farmed, by the way. And they'll have to ignore the Gyrocopter all the time. The Gyrocopter, which has a BKB and now also an Aghanim's finished. So he is ready to do the damage.
Yeah, there's some pretty good neutral items coming out for the side of SDK though currently, as they've got the spider legs on the vengeful spirit, they've got a quickening charm which I imagine they've given to Puck. Yes, they have. He absolutely wet himself when he saw that one coming out, I'm sure. Amazing item on Puck, and they've also got the craggy coat for the Centaur Warrener. I think you still take it, even though the minus 35 attack speed kind of sucks because it doesn't really work very well with Retaliate. I still think, I mean, 13 armor is a hell of a lot, so I think you take it.
Radiant's top tower
It
is
pretty
under
much doubles
attack.
in armor. It's crazy.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But now Wind and Rain taking to the high ground with this Aegis. In goes the Puck though, using the core, using the swap. Gyrocopter, he doesn't have an Aegis, and he's going to be just dropping straight up on the start of this fight. Now, well, Shadow Fiend popping that ultimate. He's going to grab a cheeky kill on some Muff as they get themselves out of here, but now comes the Stampede. They're looking for more. Stun comes out. They'll take the Ogre Magi. This will be the +1 kill they're looking for here. Don't think they'll get any more than this. Curry's still chasing him around. Yol's giving him a run around quite thoroughly here. They do get this kill, right? There we go. The Vengelution's coming back, and with the double edge, they'll put an end to Yol's shenanigans. Stop trying to play around with Curry.
Nefrid, what are you doing there?
Buddy?
Aegis hit.
Buddy? Nikwa? What you doing, buddy? Oh dear. Well, he's got the Helm of Undying, so he'll
You might get a glimpse.
get a glimpse. Yeah, this is... there we go. See ya.
What?
Oh, no, never mind. See ya. It's Boogie throwing down the Doom. The big D-O-O-M. Go on, get double stomped. No, singular stomp, did you? They're just chasing Boogie around a little bit, and yeah, Puck with the healing of the Witch Doctor, able to keep him alive. Pretty nice.
Look at
Meanwhile,
those spider legs
Boogie
now.
giving him a cheeky... Oh, never mind. Curry just homes in on him like a goddamn missile and brings down Boogie.
And those are a lot of very painful coincidences in a row for Wind and Rain. And it all just starts with that Gyrocopter moving up to the high ground right next to his Aegis carrier when, you know, the whole point was that they'd have to be targeted separately. You wait until they waste all of their spells on Wish, or they don't do that and you keep them alive and kills the tower. And now instead they are dewarding the
Oh, Dizzy with a nice rage, actually.
on top of you.
He's fighting hard, and Yola's going to be the target right now, and they should be able to bring him down. But meanwhile, Shenny's been brought down by the Shadow Fiend, who just runs forward and looks for the supports and will find them. Meanwhile, Stampede going to be used, and luckily the Infest was available to cancel out the Glimpse. That could have been bad for the Lifestealer getting Glimpse just as his rage would end, but luckily he does survive this one. But they're thinking to go back in there. They've got a blink on Curry. If anybody shows in this middle lane, they could be in trouble, but Wind and Rain move themselves north. They're going to go up to the top tower.
In spite of getting a return kill there, they have had to give up this this top island now.
Yeah, lanes are a little bit pushed in.
A lucky find.
So
Double harm shall
right
I
now,
feel.
if you look at the state of the lanes, it is very hard to play as Wind and Rain. They can't see a lot. They have to stay really grouped together. They don't have any aggressive vision out whatsoever, so they can't see where SDK is moving on the map. Whereas SDK themselves, they actually didn't get to leave any aggressive vision, so they don't have as much of an advantage as Wind and Rain maybe think they do. Which is an interesting kind of vision stalemate, you could say. One team should have the better options, but they don't. And one team will be playing, the other team will be playing scared, in spite of the fact that they don't have to be as scared. And now there is a smoke, probably for vision as well. Coming out, Nikwa with the gem, staying in the background very carefully, because Joel needs to.
It's Very
get
nice
these
ward
wards
spot
out
here.
first.
Do they see the observer? Yeah, so close, but they don't. It's not quite in range, is it?
Oh, pings, 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 pings.
Yeah,
Got him.
that's it. Oh, multicast on the quelling blade. Doesn't work, by the way. Doesn't. If there's multiple wards, the quelling blade won't cut down multiple if you get the multicast on it. Don't know why. Just doesn't work. Very sad. Yol could be in some trouble here. He might get picked up at the backlines. There's Puck loaded, heavily pregnant with a lifestealer, expecting. Meanwhile, Curry just getting to work on Yol, and we're just trying to stop Curry doing that by right-clicking. Meanwhile, the backlines, they managed to find Doom here as well. SDK, great start to this fight. The Doom has come out onto the Puck, but he's happy to just wait this one down. Or is he? Shenny gets dropped by Wish. Wish trying to fight right now. Muff goes for the swap here, but has given his life for this one. Meanwhile, in comes a lifestealer. He's got the rage up in 2 seconds. Pug might be able to get back involved with this one as he has got the broom run down of F1, and down goes Wish. They look over towards the Gyrocopter as well. Gyrocopter, BKB not doing him a whole lot right now, and with the ultimate from Zenith to make sure the Gyrocopter will be falling. And that'll be SDK winning this fight pretty damn thoroughly.
Very awkward splintered fight for Wind and Rain there. They get the Shadow Fiend on top of his supports eventually, but that's too little too late.
And now a
Very
real
good. Let's
opportunity
spend
for
5
high
minutes of their
ground.
own now.
Has fallen. Radiant structures are fortified.
Gyrocopter throws out the buyback. Wind and Rain gathering their defenses right now. Wish still holding on to his, but look at Puck just going in on the deep here. Curry trying to follow up, but actually misses a stun, and now he's going to get stunned up by the Ogre Magi in response. Down comes the Blade Infernal from... Yeah, it's hurting him. But he's doing a lot back as well as Zephyr. He's a target right now. There on top of him, he just brought back. Where's the Shadow Fiend? He's not coming back into this one. That's a dive back on the Gyrocopter. And Shadow Fiend just watching from the heavens. And down goes Boogie as well. Boogie does have the buyback. He might be dead, but he can come back to life if he wants to. But the melee barracks definitely going to be falling, and they might well move down to bottom. Top is way too far pushed out for them to be able to take that one at the very least. But still, 2 lanes of frags. Might even consider going for the win here. The swap out, Disruptor, Nikwa. Oh, he's got the Helm of the Undying, but he's dead all the same. Happy to use spells on himself. It's not actually him. There's Curry getting
You
that
see
kill.
how the target
Muff?
selection for furthest away screwed over the Gyrocopter.
I did not.
He was trying to walk away, but his poor side gunner kept hitting the centaur anyway. That's extra return damage.
Yeah, and Park just playing around in the front lines, and despite all of this, they do get the Shadow Fiend respawn, but they're just on top of him immediately. Wish pops a BKB, but he gets bashed up, but he's dead. Just like that. There's your buyback already coming out. Wish trying his best to defend this one, but he doesn't have a team. Everybody's out, and the swap comes in, and the game is over. And it is going to be a 1-1. SworDDarK keep themselves in the running for the minor, and will be able to play now a tiebreaker against Wind and Rain. Well, I say now, it's not coming up right now because next game is going to be Team Secret versus Alliance. However, Wind and Rain versus SworDDarK, pretty good series, you know, nice long games. A bit of backward forwards on that one. I wasn't really sure who was going to take it at any given point. Wind and Rain did feel strong, but eventually SworDDarK able to bring down the pain on Wind and Rain.
Yeah, I gotta say that SworDDarK really surprised me in this second game with how structured they played once they had like proper leverage over the game. And luckily for them, that one split up on the top lane, one mess up on the top lane doesn't really matter for their chances in the end. But that also kind of gets granted to them by the little Aegis slip up from Nikwa. So a deserved 1-1. I'd say that these teams are very evenly matched, and I think that's going to be very interesting to see which one of them is ultimately going to be rewarded.
Yeah, and it's quite impressive considering that, you know, Wind and Rain have been together for a good few months now. Meanwhile, SworDDarK are pretty newly formed, recently losing Supreme and before that losing Saberlight as well. So, you know, SworDDarK definitely doing their best to impress right now, and I think there's a lot of potential in this Boom player. And Digi's had some decent games as well, and of course we already know that Muff and Senny can be great supports in the right situations. Just need to work on their leadership, work on their captaining abilities, and try and get some discipline. More games like that, please, though. The objective playing was nice. The playing games was just generally there. They came to play some Dota, and Wind and Rain weren't ready for that. So there you go. Game number 2 goes to SworDDarK, drawing the series 1-1, and that's going to put a close to this one, bringing us to our final series of the day. Series 5 out of 5, and that is going to be Team Secret versus Team Alliance. We're going to be throwing over to a quick break, and when we come back, these two titans of Group B will be fighting up against each other for their top spot, and also... surprisingly, there is a chance. Oh no, there's actually with that result, I think there's no longer a chance that Team Secret can get knocked out of the major. So it's a battle for the top seed right now. Alliance currently holding it. Team Secret definitely want it. My name is Noah. She's been Kips, and we'll be back with the final series of the day in just a moment.